Recording started.
Okay,
And
I've started it.
Okay, amazing.
Cool.
So hello, everyone. We are Emily and Amanda, and we are the Marden Executive Editors. So we're going to tell you a little bit about what the Marden Moot Court competition is and why you should all do it. Well, we're going to try if I can get the slides to work.
Okay, so Marden is NYU Law's only internal moot court competition. So every law school has a big moot court competition that is, I guess, like one of their biggest events of the year, and this is NYU's. And the way it works is it starts off in the fall, right around now, and everyone competes individually to brief one side of a single issue problem. And then Emily and I will receive your briefs. We grade your briefs with the help of other moot court board members and other judges, and then we assign you all to oral arguments against each other 2 to 3 times, which are all judged as well. And then, so 2 to 3 times on brief and 1 to 2 times off brief. And then there will be oral arguments, and then the top scorers from the fall preliminary round get to move on to the spring round. So 12 competitors from the fall are paired into teams in the spring. The number of competitors are subject to change depending on how much participation we get in the fall. And instead of the same question as the fall, it's a new question, and it's a 2-issue problem. And each competitor briefs one side of one issue of a 2-issue problem. And then there are oral arguments again in the spring, and then there's a big spring final where the top 4 competitors are repaired into teams, and then each team argues one side of the same 2-issue problem before the whole school and also before federal judges. And it's one of the most exciting events that NYU has every year.
Yes, and so just to give you guys a little context, what you'll do in fall is basically exactly what you did for lawyering. Same kind of brief writing, same, I don't know if, I know you didn't end up doing the arguments in person, but the same idea with the argument. And I don't remember if you learn on brief versus off brief, what that is 1 year, so just in case. On brief is you're doing the oral argument for the side you wrote about. So that's what your oral argument would have been for lawyering. Off brief is actually arguing the opposing party's side, which sounds far more intimidating than it is. By the time you're at oral argument, you know it all so well that you'll be fine doing both sides. But so just to reiterate, fall is literally exactly what lawyering is. So if you liked that, do it again. If you didn't like that, great way to learn how to like it is doing it again. Which brings me to why you should all compete in Fall Marden. So from personal experience, I did it last year, and it was, other than the actual competition I did, it was my favorite part of the year. It's such a unique experience to get to actually work on your research, your writing, and your oral advocacy skills in front of real practitioners. It's something that, regardless of the career path you go down, whether it's public interest or private sector or something completely different, it will always be valuable and something that you really don't get to do a lot as a young lawyer. So it's a really great way to practice. And the judges in Fall Marden are most of the time practitioners in the field. There are a few times where 3Ls on moot court have to step in, but for the most part, it's all lawyers in different industries, and they give you real-time feedback, which is super helpful. You also can get credit for each semester you participate. So if you do Fall Marden, you get a credit. If you make it to Spring Marden, you get a credit. So for anyone here who has already registered, if you didn't opt in to receive a credit, just shoot Amanda and I an email at the end of this info session. Our emails will be on the last page, and just let us know that you want to get credit for it. And additionally, you're eligible for a bunch of awesome monetary awards. We'll give award for best brief, best oral advocate, best all-around competitor, and then there are more awards in spring finals. And Dean Morrison hands out those awards. You take pictures with him. It's all very cool. So more about the spring round. It really is a once in a lifetime experience. You argue in front of federal court judges, not just lawyers, and you get to go to a finals dinner and you get to put it on your resume. And in terms of the last part, even if you don't make it to spring Marden, just the spring round, just fall Marden is so great to talk about. It's something I talked about a ton in different interviews because it's really cool that NYU has this year-long competition that people are able to participate in, and it's relatively low stakes. Like, you're not getting graded on. I mean, to move on to spring, but generally, it's for you. It's for practice, and it's for you to get that experience. And employers really seem to like talking about it.
So these are the judges for what should have been this past semester, so last spring's Marden final judges, but obviously because of COVID, it got canceled. But as you can see, we get really big name circuit judges to come, and if you had competed in the spring and gotten to the finals, you would have had the opportunity to argue in front of them and the whole school and meet them, network with them. And every year, the judges for the Marden finals are always very impressed with the people that they've met and the arguments put forward. So it's a great opportunity. So this is the anticipated fall competition schedule that you will also seen in the registration form. We'll be sending this out as well, so no need to kind of write this all down now. Big deadlines to look out for is September 28th is the deadline to withdraw from credit. So if you did register and then you realize, oh, I'm too busy, I don't think I can do it, or you ended up taking 15 credits and you don't have extra space for another Marden credit, you have to let us know before September 28th that you want to withdraw from the credit. Otherwise, it shows up on your transcript it just doesn't look that good on your transcript if you don't tell us in advance. And another big deadline is October 4th is when the briefs are due at 11:59. And then between October 4th and October 19th, we'll be grading your briefs, and then we'll be figuring out the oral argument schedule. So that'll be October 19th to 21st and 26th to 28th. So it would be best if you guys could keep your evenings relatively free those days. It would make Emily and my job a lot easier to figure out how to match everyone up and Tetris everyone's schedules. And then November 2nd, the semifinalists, so the people who move on to the spring Marden round, will be announced.
And for the dates we've listed, the 19th, 21st, and 26th through the 28th, if for whatever reason we worked with the class schedules, and ideally no one should have class every night that conflicts with the time. We're tentatively going to run it from 6 to 10 p.m. So like you'd be somewhere in that time slot for a few of those days. So if you're not available all of those days because of class or something like that, we can absolutely work around it. Don't not sign up because of that. If any of you know right now you have a conflict for all 6 of those days, again, just shoot us an email after this and we can try to work around that.
I also saw a question about the credit. It's pass-fail. It's not graded. And this is a spring competition schedule. So this is only for the people who make it to the spring rounds. January 22nd, the new problem will be released. Briefs are due February 14th. And then semifinals are March 1st to the 4th. And then the final round oral argument, which is the big event we've been talking about for a while, will happen on March 23rd. And hopefully, we obviously don't know what the school's plans are for the spring, but hopefully it could be in person. If not, it'll still be great. So,
and yeah, I know we called you all for an hour, but we wanted to keep it relatively brief because Zoom fatigue is a very real thing. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or write it in I can't figure out how to see the chat while I'm sharing my screen. So write it in the chat and Amanda will answer it. One quick thing I wanted to say about credit. It's it's work, definitely, but it's not prohibitively busy work. I did 16 credits this semester. I did Marden. I had 15 credits, and Marden was like an extra credit, and the administration was totally fine with that. You have to like fill out a form, but it wasn't, it didn't make my life crazy. Made my month of October a little crazy, but that was it. So, but that's another thing. Like if you're worried about your schedule and doing Marden, that's another thing you can ask us about.
Yeah. So
anyone have any questions? Anything in the chat?
nothing in the chat.
Okay, well, if anyone thinks of questions, our emails are on here. You can take a picture of the slide, and we've been sending out a billion emails on COSIS, and we'll continue to do so. But really, we encourage you all to register. It's an incredible opportunity, and I don't think anyone will regret it. It's one of those things that's kind of just fun, and it's fun to say you did.